Oh shit!
Because he randomly left because his 5G went out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Did we decide on what we? I wasn't listening.
No,
Did we
no
pick
one
one? Or
decided.
we're just gonna.
Mass Effect, Rocket League,
Yeah.
we just spoke about, and
Right.
Oh,
Gearbox.
Gearbox. What do you want to go for? What do you want to go as the main story?
Mass Effect might as well, since that's the main one this week.
Yeah, well, I think we'll start with that one.
Okay.
We might touch on the others real quick, but probably
Well,
there's not really much. There's not
We
really
can
much to say.
talk about. There's not enough booty in Mass Effect now because
Exactly. That's the big scandal, isn't it?
I can't remember the booty.
How could you forget
what?
the booty?
What? Oh, why have we got him in this podcast?
How can you forget Miranda?
Outrageous.
Gratuitous ass in that game.
Probably because I was trying to
Look
on with
at my
the
ass.
Rhino guy. But anyway, right, okay. Let's right, I'm all ready. Right. Scenes. Right, okay, I'm gonna press. You ready to go?
It says we're offline.
I shouldn't do. I've just put us live. Oh, someone might want to tweet us out though.
I don't know really.
Okay.
Okay, maybe it just took us time because.
So I'm gonna need the right. Okay.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, now we're live. Yeah, so it just popped up when I tried earlier. What wasn't?
Yeah, remember it's like 15 seconds behind. Maybe a minute because of my 5G. Right, ready?
Sorry, Dad.
I'm pressing the button there.
Hello and welcome to Xpod Tavern episode 15th. Another lovely Sunday evening once again. Tonight I'm joined by Graham.
Hello.
Ross.
Hi there.
Hi Ross. Dan.
Hiya.
And Ian.
Hello.
Gentlemen, have we had a wonderful weekend so far?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Pleasant.
Busy one.
Busy, pleasant, wonderful.
yeah. How about you?
Wonderful, thank you. Very relaxed.
Go out anyway?
Yeah, I went to a few parties. Went down a pub for some pub lunch and stuff.
Oh, jealous.
There was a gig actually. I had like a 12-hour, like a festival. So I thought I'd go along to that.
Mosh pit as well. Everyone inside.
Yeah. Rubbing it right up against.
Did you go to the after party illegal rave?
Yeah. Hugging and kissing and all other sorts of things.
Sneeze party.
Sneeze. Yeah, we were all licking each other. That's the best way. That's all right now, isn't it?
That took a turn. That took a.
It's all right now. Anyway, let's get off that nonsense. So we're not here to talk about breaking the rules and partying. We're here to talk about video games. Everybody loves video games. So quick bit of housekeeping. Everyone's favourite part. Obviously, we're live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Xbox Tavern, where we're live right now, and every Sunday night when we record this. We also do Let's Play game streams and stuff throughout the week, occasionally. And then we also archive the video on YouTube, where you'll find other reviews that some of the team do, as well as some gameplay videos and clips. Written stuff goes up on xboxtavern.com. And if you feel like chipping a few bucks our way to help us, keep the site up and running, we've got a Patreon up, which is patreon.com/xboxtavern. A few tiers and stuff on there, so pop along, and if you would be so kind as to help us out, that would be tremendous. But let's skip to the news. All right, so I think we'll start with Mass Effect, as we discussed. So we finally got a launch date, May the 14th. Who's excited? Quick round of applause. No. All right, Ross, you excited?
Yes, very much
Ian.
so.
100% yes.
Dan,
Yes, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Gray.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Cool.
Are you,
Good.
Jamie?
We're all excited. I'm excited. We all love Mass Effect. So Ross did a video for the YouTube channel talking about the recent sort of news of the release date and stuff. Ross, do you want to just give us a quick rundown of what you went through in that video?
Yeah, so it was pretty much the basic sort of things. The release date, the 14th of May, what the price will be, $59.99 and $53.99 if you have EA Play. Talking about how much it's been upscaled and things like that. I think there was a video done, I think it was GameSpot, says that some scenes have been up-res by 16 times what the original setting was.
Really?
It's going to be running 4K HDR, next-gen consoles and the top generation of the previous gen consoles will all be running at 60 frames. A few other things like controller support for PC, unlimited frame rates, things like that. So looking forward to it. It's going to be, I'm going to say it just now, it's going to be game of the year for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played them since, when was the first one out? 2007, was it, I think?
Ooh, 2007, 2010, and then 2009 was the second one, and then
11
was
quite
the
early,
yeah.
third one.
Yeah, so yeah, I haven't played them since then. Is it obviously? Have you replayed them then, Ross? In between then and now?
I've played. I think I've played 1 5 times, 2 probably a dozen times, and 3 7 or 8 times.
Okay, so just a couple of times then.
Just a few, yeah.
Just a few times, yeah.
Just a little bit.
What about the rest of you? Have you played them since they come out? Gray, have you played it since we played it on those back in the day?
Not since we stopped doing the multiplayer bit, no.
Yeah. But you haven't replayed anything, gone through them again?
No, they lose a bit of charm in their old glory. You just wait for them to be remastered so you can have a fresh take at it and sort of play it like it's something new.
Patience is a virtue then.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, I haven't touched them since they've come out. I suppose the last Mass Effect game, which it shouldn't really be talked about, is Andromeda. Ouch.
So I don't know what you're on about. I don't remember that. Ian?
Yeah.
Ian, have you played them since they come out?
Yeah.
Originally?
Since I did some of the DLC like a couple of years ago, but not really any of that. The proper storyline, no.
For some achievements, I assume.
Of course, standard.
Yeah, good. So on EA.com, there's a Mass Effect Legendary Edition page. It goes through more of the details and stuff. And at the bottom, there's a little like a slider where it shows the original and the Legendary Edition, and you can sort of slide the thing left and right, and you can compare the scenes directly. I was just having a look at it right now. The difference is, well, as you'd expect, pretty incredible, really. Especially considering it's still running on the same engine, really. They haven't upgraded it to Unreal 4 or anything. They just spent some time up spuffing stuff.
They had considered doing up Unreal 4, but they said that the amount of effort it would have taken to do the Unreal 4 compared to the Unreal 3 was just, they would have had to pretty much rewrite the full games from start to finish.
Yeah, so this is more of just a visual upgrade, isn't it? But they have touched up Mass Effect's controls, if I'm not mistaken, the originals.
So they've made it a little. What they've done
make it
is
streamline, aren't they? Like make it
Mass Effect 1 has basically been remade into a very similar version of Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3 as well. So your squad controls have been set to one side. In Mass Effect 1, the original, there was certain things that, depending on your class, you couldn't get access to. So things like if you went for, I think it was like soldier, you couldn't do sniper. If you do bionics, you couldn't do shotguns, things like that. They've taken all that out of the game, and they've made it so that regardless of the character you play from the beginning, you've got that through the game, which is what they introduced eventually in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah. So have they? I haven't really looked into too closely, but have they changed? Because in Mass Effect 1, you had things like ammo, didn't you, for the guns? Whereas in Mass Effect 2, it was a more universal ammo. Have they changed stuff like that as well? Do you know?
So Mass Effect 1's still going to be based on the... Now I'm going to get this back to front. Mass Effect 1's still going to be the originally what it was, which I think is thermal clips.
Yeah.
And then Mass Effect 2 and 3 were overheats, or vice versa. I can't remember which one it was. They're still going to be the same. They've not changed that basis of the original game. And it's the same with 2 and 3. Whichever was in the original trilogy will be in the remaster.
Okay. But they're including all of the DLC in this as well, aren't they?
The only DLC that isn't included is Pinnacle Station, which is a story-based one from Mass Effect 1. Originally on the PlayStation, they didn't have a Pinnacle Station either because something in the code wouldn't work on PlayStation. And this is the same thing that's happened this time round, so they've not managed to fix it. But I think there's 40 plus DLCs coming as part of the pack, just not Pinnacle Station.
And also not very many butts, apparently.
Poor Miranda. Poor Miranda.
I know.
It seems I know that the internet is what it is. But it seems like a very strange thing to come out and say ahead of time. You saying, "Oh, we've upgraded the visuals, we've changed the gameplay, we've done this, we've done that, and also there's going to be less butts." But don't worry about. And everyone's like, "What?" We're finally getting this remaster collection, and they're worried about not seeing as many
HD
butts.
butt.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I think one of the people. I think one of the people in charge of the remake did a little blurb about this, and they were like, looking back on it, it was probably something we should have avoided in the first place, and especially given the way that things are more sort of these days, they decided that it was probably for the best not to have Miranda talking up in this tiny little corner up here, and the rest of the screen with this just
Ass on the
in the front of the screen. So I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, it still strikes me as an odd thing to mention ahead of time. Now, I suppose the internet probably would have done side by side comparison. Oh my god, they've censored the game.
Yeah, they've suddenly become woke.
But they've set expectations, haven't they? I think I'm more frustrated that they've not put the multiplayer in.
This is a disappointment because myself,
loved it,
Ian Graham, and our friend Pete Kinich, we played that for hours and hours when that came out. Even though I don't know about you two, but I was really skeptical of it before it launched, and I was like, "Why would
I was the same. I was like, oh, this is going to be meh. I was like, oh, this is. And at first, my player was like, oh, this is not really fun. And then I thought I'll give a couple more goes, and we all played together, and it was like, this is so much fun actually. Now, when you're actually playing with friends, communicating and winding people up.
It was a more refined.
And reviving Jamie constantly.
Of course. Standard.
Yeah, it was more refined. What's it called, wasn't it? Horde mode from like Gears. I mean, Gears was a great horde mode, and then as Mass Effect 2 came out, their version of it was just like, wow, mind blown. This is amazing. And I did sink a fair bit of money into buying packs and whatever it was, as you do. Don't shake your head.
I think I spent 80 Microsoft points on one pack once just because I had them left over from something, and even that made me feel dirty.
Yeah. There was talk of them bringing the multiplayer back, but what they found one of the big issues that they had was how did they deal with players who had never played the game before the remaster and players who are still playing the multiplayer just now. They couldn't transfer the progress from people's current Mass Effect 3, Mass Effect 2 multiplayer to the new generation. So it was like they were basically just going to lose out on all the progress, which they didn't feel was fair. So they've left it that if you still want to play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, you can, but it's not going to be as part of this remaster.
Yeah.
So they're also including, because I think when Mass Effect 2 come to the PlayStation eventually, they didn't have the first game, did they? So they had like a little comic, like choose your own adventure type thing to start things
Genesis,
off.
I think the name is.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I think they're including that in this as well, aren't they? So if you don't want to play the first game, you can just skip ahead.
Which I understand why they've done it, but I feel it's kind of redundant. Why would, everybody says that they could still go back and play Mass Effect 2, they could still go back and play Mass Effect 3, but people struggle jumping back into Mass Effect 1 because it has aged so poorly. If you've put this much effort in to remaster it, why worry about Genesis?
Sorry, did they say you could bring your save from your original one to the new remastered, or has you got to start from scratch?
They're desperately working on being able to bring your save and character to the remaster, but as of this moment, it's not going to be a confirmed feature within the new game, but they are working hard on it.
But then, as you say, if you finally got all the collection in one place, you might as well just start again and.
I'm with you, Jamie. Yeah, you
re-roll,
start.
Exactly,
you start again, and you get to go.
But
Paragon or
some people
Renegade.
might I've done Mass Effect 1, and someone do 2 and 3 remastered, and it's like, I've got to do all again.
True, but again, that's what Genesis is for, isn't it? The comic strip.
If that's your thought pattern, why buy it?
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, that is a good point. Actually, you've got to play through 1 again to play 2 and 3. No, just buy 2
because there's
and 3
no
now.
buts. I don't want to see a butt in this game.
The thing is, BioWare do this really well. They've done it with was it Inquisition for Dragon Age, and you could do the website, go on, start your character on that, and then make all the choices on the website, save your choices, and then start your character in Inquisition based on the choices you made through what the website was. So BioWare's got a history of doing this.
Yeah, that's a good point. I remember that actually. I did that for Inquisition.
Yeah, I think I did the same thing actually. Now that I think about it, Does anybody have interest in picking up the legendary cache? Have you seen? Oh yeah, I figured you would. I want. Grave, Ian, Dan, anyone interested in spending 100 odd quid?
I heard it. Like, is it true that it doesn't come with the game though?
This is true.
Yes, that's what I was like. Well, what's the point of me buying it if I'm not going to get the game with it? Like, yeah.
This is just with the N7 helmet, isn't it?
I mean, ain't fit in my head.
Paragon and Renegade badges, storybook artwork, steel frame case, and there's something
And
else.
an
Steel
N7
frame
acceptance letter.
Yes, your acceptance letter for the N7 program.
Hang on a minute. What does the steel case hold if there's no game?
You can put the game into it if you want.
Oh, for another 60. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
okay.
if you buy the game separately physically, then you can put the discs in that one and chuck away the plastic box.
And
Exactly.
a signed Miranda arse poster.
And the submarine art, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you need. That's what they need. They don't want an N7 helmet. They want a bust of Miranda's ass.
That would sell. That would
And then,
definitely.
as you
And then
open
when
it,
they-
it will come out.
Whenever it's not on the screen, you could just hold it up in front of you and pretend you still got that camera angle.
I was going to say, with a little push button on the stand that says "We'll bang," okay.
Oh man, can you imagine if they put some Gamer Poop Easter eggs in there as well, just to
It'd be
sort of
beautiful.
make it come full circle? That'd be brilliant.
Oh,
Report to the ship as soon as possible. Bang.
Bang, okay.
amazing.
Yeah, so May 14th obviously is coming out. It's not a Series S and X version, though, is it? It's just an Xbox One that's sort of
So
enhanced by the new console.
if you go into the store website, it gives you the whole optimized for Series X, Series S, and then it gives you the whole smart delivery option.
Yeah.
Like I say, you are getting the benefit of the 60 frames per second if you have it on the, not even the new consoles, just the higher end previous gen as well.
Yeah.
But there will be some benefits to having it on the newer consoles at least.
It definitely look a bit nicer at least. But I think did they say they're doing a Series X sort of patch later down the line? I think I saw somewhere.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know how that will work. I think the only thing they could really do is bring it up to 120 frames, but even just taking advantage of the loading screens and things like that will be
I said it's going to be higher, won't it? It'd be better loading screens on the X.
Yeah.
So they gave an example of the loading screens. The elevator scenes in the Citadel, they timed it and it was 52 seconds from getting in the elevator to getting out the elevator. That's down to 14.
Wow.
Jesus.
And that's
But you do also have...
So that's still encompassing the dialogue, isn't it? I think that's the reason why it's still so long.
Yeah, you've got the option when you load into the map to skip cutscenes, so you don't have to worry about the cutscenes with the elevator. Personally, I'm going to miss them because there was quite a good bit of interaction between your other two squad mates at the time.
There was a lot of sitting around waiting though, wasn't there?
Yes, there was, and the elevator music was horrendously bad.
Question is, who's going to be your squad mates?
Well, that's easy. That's Garrison Rex in number 1. Number 2 is going to be... in fact, number 2 is always a tricky one. It's always Garrus. Garrus is in my team come hell, rain or high water. And then 3, it'll be Garrus and somebody. Usually Tally. Tally usually tends to make it in my team. Plus, I very rarely ever romanced Garrus. So the fact that if you keep Garrus and Tally together, they become a couple, which is quite nice.
Let's do another quick round table then. Fem ship or male ship? Gray.
I had Mao.
Ross?
I'll probably play Femship through this time simply because they finally settled on a fixed character model for Femship, so now it ties in through the whole story.
Do you not create your character then, or do you just go with a base model because you can customize them?
The first time I ever played it, I played the whole series as my created character, and it was the worst experience I've had through Mass Effect because the original creation system was horrendous. You had like 8 different faces, and every one of them was terrible. And then after that, I stuck with the standard Commander Shepard. And then when 3 came out and gave you the option to have a fixed model character for Femship, I did 3 in Femship.
Okay. Yeah, because my Mass Effect 1 character was like a boss-eyed guy who'd like been beaten up all over the place. But it made it more enjoyable for me because he like these serious moments where everyone's dying. And he's just standing there like. Oh, it's hilarious. He looks so daft. Like I've made his cheeks about this big and his crazy. Anyway, Dan, femme or male?
Well, I went male last time, so I think I'm going to try it and go femme and see how the experience plays out.
And Ian?
Black man.
Just not even bothered asking. No, yeah,
I might go white lady this. No, I might go femme. No, actually, no, I'll probably go good old black man Kabada Shepherd.
Yeah.
Paragon or Renegade?
Oh, this is a good next question. You start, Ross. You start.
I've done both through all of them, so I'll probably start this one as Paragon, and then I'll do another playthrough as Renegade.
Dan?
I'm going Renegade this time. I normally play my games the way I am, so kind of a little bit nice. So I'm going to be a hole.
Ian? Well, I know what you're going to be. You're going to be an arsehole, aren't you?
Normally I am, but no, I'll probably go Paragon actually. Yeah, I do like pissing people off, but no, I will go good old Paragon, good boy.
Great.
Yeah, I'll probably get Paragon. I always find that the Renegade dialogue a bit cringy at times.
Yeah, I'm like you guys. I tend to stick with Paragon just playing naturally, but yeah. So I might try some Renegade this time.
Yeah, I think it's always like with Paragon when you play Paragon. There's always like a little Renegade prompt, like, I wonder what happens if I push the button. It's like, oh, it's tempting. It's like every now and again, every time I get, I do push it and see what happens, and better reload that because I've just completely destroyed everyone.
Yeah, I think my first playthrough, I think I kind of played it a bit too safe, and I ended up pretty much in the middle where I was just like, I'll pick this one this time, and then this one next time, and then I was like, I really like you. I'm going to kill all of your friends, and we could be friends. Yeah. So,
I tried to do that as well the very first time I played it, and then it got to what's the planet called? Vermeer, where you have one squad mate. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. One squad mate with their gun trained on another squad mate.
Yeah.
And because I had played it down the line, I couldn't save one of the squad mates, and that ruined the game for me. I had to start again.
Oh.
So yeah, then I decided to go full one way or full the other way to save that hassle again.
All right, one more quick question then, and this is the most important one, and I'm going to forget his name. Are we going Ashley? Or are we going Caden? Is it Caden?
The fact that you can't remember that his name's Caden tells you that nobody ever picks Caden. I've seen paint drying that's more entertaining than Caden Alenko.
Yeah, I killed him off pretty quickly because, I couldn't really put my finger on it to start with, but then I found out afterwards he was the same voice actor as that guy from Knights of the Republic. What was his name? Karth, yeah. And I was like, something about that guy's voice is just, as you say, it's just like listening to paint dry, as it were. It's so tedious. But
this is how you know how bad a character is. Ashley is an out-and-out racist. She hates other species. She has no time for other species. Massive racist, and yet we still save her. That tells you how bad Caden is.
Nice arse, though.
Well, you don't really get to see it in the first one, though. That's the problem. It's not until she gets a glow up in 3, you're like, bam!
Yeah. All right, Ian, you picking the good woman or the arsehole man?
Oh, of course, good woman.
Good. Dan?
Is that booty?
Yeah, I think I went with woman. I think I tried to fill my team with women because, space is a long, dark time.
Did they wear swimwear into battle?
Listen.
I could just imagine you playing as Feb Shep with 2 women next to you.
Let's go.
Got Rex in a bikini.
Screw your armor stats. You're wearing this bikini out there now.
Exactly. Dan's the sort of person I would see who, like, he would play the game, and although he would have like Miranda and Ashley would be like his final squad. No like space guys or women or anything like that. Just one nice ass there, one nice ass there. That's all.
And then he'll get to the second to last mission and stop playing.
Listen.
Yeah.
All I've got to say is who runs the world. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to have that in the background.
The elusive man.
The elusive man.
He's got a nice ass as well. Anyway, Craig, what about you?
It's only when you said the name that it kind of came back to me, but I think I saved Ashley as well.
Good. Well, at least we're all decent human beings, and that's fine. Yeah. So, anything else we want to talk about Mass Effect other than gushing about how awesome it is?
I can't wait. What's the scientist called? You'll know, Ross.
Solace.
Morden Solace.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to sing Scientist Solarian.
I am the definition of a Solarian scientist.
Yes. That's the best moment, number 2.
That's fantastic. Which only makes 3 a bit harder, but
Yeah. No spoilers.
No spoilers. There's gonna be. Just think, it's been so long. There's gonna be a whole new generation of people who weren't even around when the first one came out. Let nobody have played them already. The good time they're going to be in for. Jealous.
Do you know what's
Very
weird?
jealous.
Because I didn't play Mass Effect 1 for ages, and actually I think it was good maybe 2-3 years before I actually played it. I think you recommended it to me, Jamie, to start playing it.
Yeah.
And by God, I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. Oh yes, it was tremendous.
I never actually played 1 until I had completed 2. I completed 2 and then decided, all right, I'll go back and see what 1 was like.
I think I played roughly when Mass Effect 2 was announced, and Jamie was talking about it. It's, oh, what's this Mass Effect game? I was like, okay,
Funny,
I'll give it a go.
That sounds exactly the way I did it. I think I got told about Mass Effect, and I had to start it 3 or 4 times because I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? The control system drove me potty. But then once you kind of, I don't want to say power through because that's the wrong word, but once you just get past a certain point and the stories start intertwining, you're like, oh my God, why have I not played this in? Great game.
It's I just remember it being brilliant. I couldn't put it down. I don't know how long I played it for to get to the end, but I played it for a long. It must have been a good few weeks, sort of every night, just working my way through it.
God, yeah, same.
Yeah, and then when
That could have time on hands.
Yeah, exactly. When we're younger,
Back when
and
life was fun,
much less responsibilities, and could spend a week playing one game rather than an hour a day if we're lucky. But yeah,
we're soon turning into Dan, who never completes a game.
Hey, I've completed 1 game so far this year. Thank you very much.
I've had to like a one, I bet.
Language of love.
Gentlemen, I'll let you know later.
All right, so Mass Effect, May 14th. Going to look nice and shiny. They've upgraded the original one, probably more than the rest of them, to sort of bring it in line. And if you haven't played it, then you're in for a good time. And if you have played it, then you know you're in for a good time. I can't wait. I'm not sure about the legendary cache. I think I'll skip out on that somehow, but I'll definitely pick the game up.
Yeah, we can live without a shiny helmet.
Yeah, well, I do need something to accompany Master Chief's helmet up in my bedroom, but.
Is it life size, or is it like you can actually put on your head, or is it just like small? Well, it won't fit mine and Jamie's head, but
well, no. It says 1-to-1 scale replica, but it's going to need to be like...
for normal human heads. Me and Jamie, wow.
Yeah, we got no chance.
Oversized head.
Big head ain't fitting in there.
It's set to big head mode.
Yeah. That's my daily life.
About it.
All right, let's move on then. Shall we get away from the Mass Effect? I'm sure we'll come back to it at some point then, especially as launch approaches. Let's very quickly just go over. Obviously, get the words out. Microsoft purchased or put a thing out there saying they were intend to buy Zenimax Media, and the EU are set to rule on it on the 5th of March. It's not a very interesting article, to be honest, because there's a lot of legalese in it. But basically, the deal's not done yet, obviously, and they can, it can still go wrong, but it doesn't look like it's going to go wrong. What I wanted to go through with this, though, do you think that after the 5th of March, if they approve it, which they most likely will, do you think we might start to see a sort of an uptick in them bringing like Bethesda games to Game Pass, or announcing exclusivity for something like Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6 or something like that? Or do you think they'll just carry on as usual, and then maybe in a couple of years we'll hear some stuff like that?
I think they'll start bringing more titles to Game Pass, definitely. I mean, that's key there to get
Be a given.
Yeah. Exclusivity, I can see it happening, definitely, or whether it's timed. But yeah, it will happen.
I think announcements will happen once the ink's dried and everyone's happy with it. I think that's when you'll see a snowball effect of games come to Game Pass, announcements being made, etc., etc., etc. Because at the moment they can't say much, can they? Because they could get themselves shot in the foot.
Next time you see one of their games coming to like Game Pass or Games with Gold, like a remake or a new second one's coming out. That normally seems to be the trend recently with some of their games.
Yeah.
They bring out the previous version of Games with Gold to get people to buy the second one. Like Little Nightmares, as an example.
Yeah. Have they? I'm trying to think. I was looking through Game Pass earlier on. I know they put Elder Scrolls 5 on it and Fallout 4. No, Fallout 4's not on there at the minute, is it?
No.
Fallout 76 is on there. Sorry, but they
Yeah.
haven't gone further back. I don't think like Oblivion and stuff is on there, is it? Or even Morrowind or.
Is Oblivion on there?
Oblivion was on there. I know that. I don't think Morrowind was, but Oblivion was.
Maybe they could finally start to get like full collections of like Elder Scrolls and Fallout and Doom, because the only Doom Eternals on there at the moment, so we could get all of the Dooms on there. So
Elder Scrolls,
the earlier ones.
Elder Scrolls is on there, and I don't think Oblivion is.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Unless I'm spelling it wrong, which, let's be honest,
Maybe.
It's a strong chance.
Yeah, very high possibility.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it'd be good to see more collections, like full series chucked up on Game Pass.
Yeah, no, it's not on there. It's backwards compatibility, but not on there now.
Yeah.
Ooh, spelled it right.
So yeah. So Ray, do you have anything you'd like to see from Bethesda drop on there, or do you think we'll see it come 5th of March once they've signed on a dotted line?
Yeah, you imagine there'll be some sort of big announcement. Something's got to hit to make it all kind of worthwhile. They want to sort of bring it in with a bang, you would hope.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
There'd be some sort of announcement, some sort of things coming to Game Pass. You imagine them make a massive song and dance about it once it's all done.
Yeah.
New Vegas too.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Just while you mentioned that quickly, I failed my homework this week. I had no time at all this week. I installed it, but I didn't get around to playing it. So next week. Yeah, maybe. If I don't work crazy overtime this week. All right, so that's about that really. So we'll see after the 5th of March. I suppose that kind of leads into like E3, or when E3 would be. So maybe we'll get some bigger announcements soon, perhaps. Be nice. Let's move on. Embracer Group. Who here knows who Embracer Group are? Silence.
Well, that's a lot of people.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So, do you remember THQ? They used to have a headquarters just down the road from us.
Yep.
And then obviously they went bust. They went tits up, and then they sort of got revived as THQ Nordic with Koch Media. Their parent company, I think I forget exactly. I think they changed the branding, so instead of it being Koch Media and THQ Nordic, they just basically made it Embracer Group. And they've just been going on a tear, buying game companies left, right, and center. They bought. I think last thing I've heard them say, they had something like 60 announced games in development, and about another 50 that they hadn't announced.
Oh, wow.
And they were just picking up studios left, right, and center. They picked up all sorts of smaller studios, but they picked up the Darksiders developers, and they picked up the guys who did Spec Ops. I can't remember their name now. Jaeger, is it? I think. Anyway, by the by, it seems like every week they're just buying another studio, or they're announcing another game, or they did they bought the Kingdoms of Amalur. That was them that bought that back as well. And they're just spending money left, right, and center. And their latest pickup is Gearbox, the Borderlands developer and publisher.
Okay.
For $1.3 billion. It's not quite up with Zenimax, but for just Gearbox, that's quite a lot of money. I know Borderlands does well, but that seems crazy to me.
But do you think they're just purchasing Randy Pitchford and not
and trying to shuffle him off into a desert island?
Well, that, or they're making him the lead magician for their next big team meeting.
Yeah, maybe he can hand out USB thumb drives to everyone.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but he left a USB full of porn on a table. It was at a restaurant now. Anyway, so they're basically buying fucking people left, right, and center. They
like a high profile
yeah, they're kind of filling that sort of middle ground that like the old THQ used to fill. So they're not making sort of AAA bangers like Halo or Gears or something like that, and they're also not making short little indie games. They're making the stuff that you kind of think, yeah, that's all right. I suppose that'll do for 40 quid or whatever. But spending 1.3 billion on Gearbox is madness. Apparently 2K is still going to be publishing Borderlands. and their sort of relationship with Gearbox is going to stay the same. So this, I guess, is going to be for whatever Gearbox are creating outside of Borderlands or going forward. But yeah, does anybody have any concerns or thoughts on
what else do they have other than Borderlands?
What, Gearbox?
Yeah,
Gearbox don't really have anything.
They had Battleborn, and that went that way.
Yeah.
What else did they have? They had something else as well. They've got
it's Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it Gearbox who do Godfall as well, is it not, for the PS5?
Yeah, they were the ones that published that for the PS5.
Yeah.
It says
can't
Aliens,
think what else they've
Colonial
got.
Marines, and
that was
Homeworld.
Yeah, so I think it literally is they bought them.
So they
for
bought Borderlands essentially.
Borderlands, yeah, basically. But again,
Borderlands, yeah.
No, guys,
They
They
get
bought
2K.
Borderlands, that's it.
they bought Penn and Teller VR. That's what they bought.
Saber Interactive was the one I was thinking of earlier on. Sorry, not Jaeger, Saber. So yeah, that's a lot of money, but they're just proper sort of sneaking their way up to. I think technically they're sort of approaching like EA and Activision levels, not necessarily in terms of the sheer financial oomph they've got, but the amount of studios they've got and some of the IP and stuff they've got, they could sort of appear at the top of the pile, I think, in a couple of years if they keep.
Maybe
going
they bring out Duke Nukem.
Maybe they bring out a good Duke Nukem. That's what we need.
Well, it's that or Brothers in Arms is another one.
Brothers in Arms was good, actually. Yeah, that was a good
another
back
one.
in the day. I don't think there's been one of them for a good while.
No, and for some reason it says Half-Life here as well.
Half-Life Opposing Force.
Yeah. They were porting the original Half-Life to the Dreamcast, but then that got cancelled. But yeah, they did like one of the what they call not expansion packs.
DLCs?
Is it expansion pack? Yeah, look, before DLC was DLC basically, like Blue Shift and like I said, Opposing Force and stuff. And they also did the Halo PC port, the original Halo PC port.
Yeah, I saw that at Combat Evolved.
But again, they're not. That's nothing to do with them anymore. But
Blue Shift was good fun. I remember that.
I never played Blue Shifts.
I'm surprised Microsoft didn't go for purchasing Gearbox, but I know Pitchford is not a big fan of Microsoft. He went on a right rant, didn't he? Oh, sorry, he's gone on quite a few rants.
One of his rants. Yeah. So yeah, good time to have a drink. Right. Okay. So basically, just watch out for Embracer Group, basically, because they're going to take over. It's going to be them and Tencent left standing, and whoever's there, they're just going to battle it out for whoever can buy as many games as possible. Cool. All right. Should we have a quick chat about Battlefield? Anyone have interest in Battlefield? Because there's not really a series that's caught my eye.
So I like Battlefield.
I would probably like Battlefield if I could hit one of the targets that I had to hit, but
yeah, that's probably why I don't like it. All right, Dan, do you want to give us a quick rundown of this?
Camping paradise. It's like, oh god,
yeah,
it's
too slow pace for my liking.
Oh, I enjoyed. The trouble was, I enjoyed 4, and then was it 1 came out, and that was okay, and then I can't think what the last one just burnt me and was not happy about it at all. But here we go. So EA have spoken at length about a new Battlefield game which will release at 2021, which is interesting because there's been nothing really said about Battlefield at all, has there?
Well, that's this year, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
It's come around quite quickly. So essentially, really, that's it. There's not much more to say. They've said that it's going to be using the full power of the next-gen platforms to ensure exactly the game Battlefield fans want to play. Battlefield 5 was the last one that burnt me, and that was absolute rubbish. So poor. But yeah, looking personally forward to it. Hopefully they come into the modern era and go kind of Battlefield 4-esque, because for me that was the best Battlefield they had.
The only one I really properly played was 3, but even then I was playing that on a PC that was vastly underpowered, so everything looked like it had been smeared in Vaseline. So I didn't really get into it. But other than that, never really caught the series. Gray, I know you're not a big shooter fan, Gray, but have you got any thoughts on Battlefield or interest in?
Did they do the Star Wars ones, or is that something else?
What did
DICE made Star Wars Battlefront?
Yeah, I think I played one or two of those ones, but yeah, didn't really live long in the memory.
it's going to be good. I remember when Call of Duty went through that phase of kind of flying all over everywhere, and that's when I jumped on Battlefield because I was like, oh, this is much better. It's slower. I'm not respawning and dying straight away. Yeah.
You sure?
Sure, that's
Not as much.
Really?
You took the words out of my mouth. I was like, really?
10 seconds is 100% increase.
Well, exactly. That's what I say to my wife all the time. Yeah. So Battlefield.
Wait.
Can't wait.
Okay. So new Battlefield, new Mass Effect, and Embracer Group taking over the world. Cool. All right. So we get on to what we've been playing then this week, gentlemen. Who should we get? I always forget who I started with last week. So let's start with Graham. Why not?
Yeah. So as tail end of last week, I said I've submitted the Crashlands review. That's kind of up. That's the mobile port kind of top-down view game. It plays all right, but it's definitely made more as a mobile style game because it's just really slow progressive and just goes through cycles as you kind of hit enemies and get ingredients, you craft better equipment, you go back to base, build a new workstation, build higher tier gear, and then go out and fight the next tier enemies and rinse repeat. And it's kind of that. And then when you think you're at the end of the level, you go to a whole new world where it's almost like you're starting again from scratch and doing the same thing with different materials and stuff. So I can see how it would work on a mobile game, and the controls transfer nicely to the console, but it's not something you could just sit down and play in an evening. It's just, definitely a mobile game. And the other one, which obviously got put up today, the werewolf game, the Apocalypse.
Yeah. What's it called? It's got a ridiculously
It's got a ridiculously
title.
long name. I just call it Werewolf.
Let me just have a quick look.
I'll put it
Werewolf,
here.
the Apocalypse, Earthblood.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a long name, and it's one of those. It's almost like the bait and switch that the Cyberpunk did, but on like a lower, a smaller scale. The trailer for it looks intense, and the graphics in that trailer look amazing. And then in game, they're not the same graphics. It's definitely not the same.
I was going to say it looks amazing. I saw a trailer
that
drop
looked fantastic.
a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this looks great! I can't wait to find out what Graham thought of it."
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not positive. It just look when the characters speak, it looks like a game of at least sort of 5-10 years ago. Sort of the mouths don't really connect well with how they're speaking. It's just it just could be saying anything. It's
PS2 era sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit sort of crushing, and you need to know more about werewolf lore than most people tend to know about, like other than Silverhurt's werewolves. But if you knew about Mother Gaia, the Triad, and the 3 types of wolf that you can or 2 types of wolf that you can turn into, there's a bit more lore that I wasn't aware of, but you kind of pick up. And the transitioning bit is probably the best bit about it. You morph from your human form into a lupus form, which is like a small wolf form, so it makes you quicker and harder to detect by enemies. And then once you get into real battle, you turn into your Krynos form, which is like the giant werewolf form, where you start destroying everything in sight. So the transitioning bit looks pretty cool. It's quite swift as you morph between them, but it's a bit of a sort of a copy and paste of like areas. You have one set mission, and you go into a room and you start off the same thing. You have to get to a target. You go into waist high level walls and you're stealthy. You try not to be detected. You go into your wolf form. You can go through vents to try and not be detected, but sooner or later you get detected. And then once you get shot or you can preempt it. You can turn into your Krynos form, and then you just go into battle. And it's the same thing. You fight a certain waves of enemies, and literally, as soon as you kill the last enemy, you morph back into your human form, and that's it. It sort of doesn't say anything. It just straight to human form. Walk on to the next area where you're in another square with waist-high walls with a bit more stealth.
Waist-high walls are the universal sign for combat scene in that scenario, isn't they?
Yeah, but it's just that. It's just room after room of do a bit of stealth, try and get yourself an advantage. You're going to turn into the wolf and start killing everyone again, and then go into the next bit. There's a couple of boss fight areas, but it gets gradually harder as the enemies start sort of becoming more corrupted, and they start morphing into sort of worm like aliens. After they get killed, they kind of come back alive in a kind of worm form, and yeah, you have to fight them again, and it gets a little bit more difficult, but yeah, it just doesn't change too much. The storyline is probably more interested if you're into the lore, but yeah, it's a bit disconnected and a bit standard as far as there's a tragedy, you have to redeem yourself, and only your guy can save the day, kind of thing. But it's just, yeah, they didn't mix it up very well. It's just the same thing. Get to this point, try to be stealthy, fight, and then just rinse, repeat. But yeah, the combat is all right. It seems super easy early on. Once you're in your giant werewolf form, nothing really stands in your way. You can literally
just tear through them and destroy them.
You can either claw through them with like a variety of different special moves, or you can literally just pick them up and tear them in half. Yeah. And it's only sort of as you get sort of halfway through the game, there's sort of bigger enemies where you can't do that to, and there's enemies with sort of stun patterns and stuff that you have to sort of claw your way through. But I think I only died once, and that's because I was just rushing it to try and get through it. Other than that, sort of, you don't really get that injured, and you've got a heal function that it just makes the game quite easy.
Fair enough. So basically, it sounds like it might be all right, but it's not. It doesn't live up to the promise in the trailers, because it seems that everyone was quite high on the trailers.
Yeah, it's so disappointing when you saw that trailer. You saw that transformation in the trailer. It's like this could be amazing, but yeah, it's a massive letdown.
Well, like I said, your reviews up on the site now. I think ended up at about 6.3, was it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a semi-interesting playthrough, but once you've done it, you're not going to go back to it.
Yeah. Yes, but that's exactly the kind of territory the Embracer Group are kind of aiming for. Yeah, fair to middling game that you sort of play once and go, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
we got our money, now let's move on. All right.
That's why I had to have a little interlude of getting back onto the Yakuza bike, as you saw a few clips of what the hell was happening on with that game.
That looks. Has any of the rest of you played Yakuza? I forget.
No, I haven't, but it seems like a game that seems piqued my interest because it seems quite weird and funny.
It's insane. Go and explain the clip I sent you, Jay. in the club.
Bad timing. It was some man dancing around his pants.
Just at a cabaret club.
And he was saying something. I can't remember what you said he was saying, but it was something ridiculous.
His first line was, "What the shit is this?" Who attracts that attention? Something like that. It was just, yeah, it's just in the typical Japanese cabaret fashion. They have like hostess ladies just trying to like talk to you to get you buy drinks and stuff and spend money. And then there's this, as he looks around the club, he randomly spots this guy in his pants just sort of busting a move.
He's not busting a move though. He's like grooving, like grinding in.
Better moves than Jamie.
And then when you thought you had enough of that, about an hour later, I come across another side mission with the pantsless man, which I sent you a screenshot of. It gives you a weird angle of almost like a Miranda sort of angle.
Oh.
Of a dude in little white
pants. Yeah.
That's the angle everyone wants.
Yeah, but thankfully that broke up my playthrough.
When you get sick of tearing people apart, go and watch a man in his pants.
Unfortunately.
All right, let's what we got next? Let's go for Dan. Dan, do you want to regale us with your video games of the week?
Yeah, so I have finished Verde Blanca, Ghost in the Castle. What a game. So it's the second incarnation of Verde Blanca's, I can't even remember the first one now, but anyway.
Iconic.
Yeah, if you've played the first one, you don't need to play this one. It's literally a carbon copy of the same game, apart from set in Italy. You're that detective who needs to go find a mysterious killing or haunting. They have literally just copied it. It's the same kind of choosing your dialogue options, which gives you more dialogue options, which at certain points you have to pick all 4 dialogue options to get some more information. Like even the spots on the map that they've done is almost exactly like the first game, and they're situated in the same place, bar I think about three circle discs. They're slightly different. It's like in the instead of the shack, they've done the church, and instead of, I can't remember the other one, they've put it in like the Venetian Square, and you're just like, okay. So yeah, it was a big thumbs down for me. It wasn't a good game. The saving grace was that it had cartoon kind of comic book style assets, which was nice. But other than that, yeah, I think I'm done with a Ratalaika storybook visual novel. I can't.
I'm sure there's like another 10 games in the series to come, so don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, these are 20-year-old
Give
games.
them all to him.
Yeah, he's got state of dibs.
All I'll do is copy and paste my reviews for each one then.
Yeah.
So yeah, that game is done and dusted, so very happy with that. And then I've just been on an Apex high, jumping into Season 8. Been trying Fuse, who is...
How are you finding him? I like him.
I like him. What I don't like is when you hit his ultimate and you miss the opponent that you were trying to get in the circle, or you walk into the ring of fire and you damage yourself.
Well,
That
fire does damage you. That's always happened.
No one told me there was fire. Why is what?
Yeah,
I have to play this now.
so
And
he's
maybe
what is he?
don't miss.
He's a crazy...
Pyromaniac, best way to put it.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say a crazy Aussie, but yeah, pyromaniac's probably the correct terminology.
One and the same.
So yeah, he's good. So if you pick up grenades, you get an extra one in your inventory slot, so you can carry 2, as opposed to everyone else carrying 1 per slot. So you could potentially, if you had a gold backpack, you could be carrying, is it 24 or 36 grenades?
Some of that. 24.
34, something really stupid.
24, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
24. Yeah, good laugh. The new map is, well, not the new map. The change in Kings Canyon is okay, I guess. Have you played some of this, Ian?
Yeah, it's better than. Oh, I say it's better. It's
different.
Different, yeah. That's correct.
Yeah.
What have they changed then? Because I haven't been back there.
Some of the mountaintops have been kind of blown open. There's a few.
Artillery base is completely different now.
Yeah, there's also a few.
It's just one at the top.
Yeah,
there's a few more zip lines to get around. A lot of everything's more destroyed and stuff, and they've got different care packages now, so you can actually like go into like a little kind of like a vault kind of.
Yes,
basically throw a grenade in it.
That's quite good. The vault. So you go up to a vault, you hold on to X, and then an animation comes in, and you throw in the grenade, and it opens up, and it's got some higher tiered loot, which is quite nice. And they're dotted around the map. Yeah,
it's gold Mozambique though, which is the most annoying thing in the world.
Mozambique.
What a gold Mozambique was that?
Mm-hmm.
So
why would you?
Go on.
Why would you? Exactly. Why would you? You just said the exact same words that I do. And it's like, okay, yeah. Gold Mozambique here. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna leave that.
I'll still run around with just my ammo and no gun. They've got gold magazine clips now, so that automatically reloads your weapon when you're not holding it, which is nice. Yeah, all in all,
your favourite gun's been sort of not nerfed, but also buffed at the same time. So there's no more double tap, but the Eve 8 fires faster.
Damn right it does. Eve 8 for life.
There's no more double tap though, so you kind of.
That's fine. I've never got to use it anyway because I'll already die by the time I pick up a double tap.
Well, that's because you're dropping the frigging package. Yeah, so Apex is good. It's good. Lots of fun, and I've just been playing my way through the medium because oh my god, that game is so good.
No. So how far have you got, do you reckon? Where are you up to? Not that I've played it, but
I don't know if this is a spoiler.
It's Dan, so
Yeah,
probably
Half
10 minutes.
hour in.
half an hour.
He's made the character.
You guys are you've been generous. 24 minutes. No, I have met some strange creature thing that chases you. I'd want to say it's halfway through, but I don't think it is. I'm probably just before the halfway point.
10 minutes in, 20 minutes in. Boss.
But about half an hour, I would say. First time you meet who he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met him a few times. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. So you said you just met him.
Well, yeah, last night I just met him. Anyway, yeah. So that's where I am.
Nice. All right. Have you, Graham, Maria? Have you tried the medium yet?
Not yet. No, it's
Downloaded, but
Yeah.
not played yet.
Likewise,
I'm
as far as
too scared to play it.
It throws up achievements. It literally throws up achievements.
Look at you can see he's like torn inside. He's like, but
Do I play a game I'm scared of? But achievement.
Am I right in
Also-
thinking? Oh, go on, Ross.
With the exception of having to look for certain like journal entries and postcards, literally every like 10, 15 minutes, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding.
So
I was like,
I-
oh,
let his
Oh,
twitch.
this is
I can
easy.
see him. Yeah, I can see him. He's like,
Oh, better smart delivery this now.
you have a small part of, oh, I need to go around this corner in case there's a postcard there. Oh, look,
Yeah.
there is. Oh, look, achievement. Hey.
It's,
oh look, monster.
I got my weekly
Find out next week.
I got my weekly achievement thing yesterday just by playing the medium for half an hour. Literally, it just threw up achievements. It was ridiculous.
Nice. All right, cool. All right. Ian, then what have you been playing? Have you been playing scary games?
I actually haven't been playing much this week, apart from like the usual like Grand Theft Auto on a Thursday, a bit of Warzone. I actually haven't played much. I actually did play golf with your friends, with a couple of friends from America.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good laugh though, especially if you do a party mode. It'd be
That
really
game
annoying.
is alcohol and juice. Like you, that's one reason it hit the bottle playing that game.
Yeah. Did you have the ball physics? Not the ball physics. You could hit other people's balls.
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Helmets
So we-
and balls. All
So we did the
shown.
normal mode, the classic mode for a bit, just to kind of, achievements. But we did the party mode as well, where you change the ball physics to randomizer, so it turns like an acorn or a cone. It's just annoying because you just can't do anything. Or you try to do a trick shot, and then halfway through your trick shot, you turn into an acorn, and you're going flying off the course. Like you lose 3 or 4 shots just trying to do it.
That sounds
Absolute
annoying.
nightmare. Fun annoying if you do it to someone else though.
Well, yeah. That's face so.
It swings and roundabouts. If you do, you go, oh, well, you're doing it to me. I'm doing it to everyone else.
Yeah.
There's like good, like 9, 10 of us in the group, so it's quite a good laugh actually.
Good.
But yeah, I haven't been playing much to be fair. Went back to Killer Instincts for a bit, just to kind of brush up achievements on that. I haven't played that in ages, and I thought something different. Hitman, again, mopping up Hitman 3 still. Love that game so much. It's such a brilliant game. Just kind of mopping up the achievements there. But it's quite long. You have to go through all the different kind of kills you can get to level 20 of each level. You have to get level 20 to get the achievement. And so you have to keep doing different kind of kills to kind of mop up that. And I'm trying to look at a couple of the speed ones that they do on like on YouTube and stuff. And some of them are just insane how they do it. Like, I think one guy finished the level in like 27 seconds. Like, what?
Was there one? I haven't played it, but is there a Dubai level? Is that one of them?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently some guy did it in 8 seconds. He
Yeah.
As soon as the level loaded, he fired his gun. Everyone panicked. He shot through a gap in a wall and then walked back out behind him or something.
Yeah, so yeah, what happens is there's one guy in like a little office and there's one guy on a balcony, and depending on where you spawn, you can run forward up the escalator, then you shoot one guy who's on the balcony, then you shoot the window who with the guy in the office. The guy in the office comes out and you just shoot him in the head and run out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And it's like, yeah, 8-9 seconds of it in. And the same game, you can do a silent assassin between 27 seconds, but you spawn somewhere different, you run out, you shoot the guy on the balcony, and then you flashbang the office that the guy's in, shoot him, and then you run and exit. And by the time the flashbang's finished, you still got a silent assassin because I haven't seen the dead body yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's insane. There's some other ones that I've been trying to do by myself. Like there's another level where you can kind of electrocute someone and run up and shoot someone and run out quickly.
Yeah.
By the time that guard's coming, because the guards start panicking, like, what's that gunshot? By the time they've gone to see the body, like, you've already exited the level and gone.
Cunning tips and tricks. Nice.
But yeah, apart from that, kind of been quite a week for me myself this week. So yeah, not really going to manage time to play much. Hopefully next week I'll get a few round. So yeah, we'll see.
Happy days. All right, Ross, what have you been up to this week?
I have jumped back into Borderlands 3. There is a community event starting on the 1st of March called The Hunt. Basically, it's start a new character and you have to collect every legendary weapon and then every unique weapon. So any of the guns that have red text on them. It's all done for charity. So I think this year is it St. Jude's Kids Hospital, I think, in America.
Yeah.
So it starts the 1st of March and then you've got X amount of time and then the people who have the highest score by that point get shouted out and things like that. So it's the first year I've actually tried it. So I have been putting in a bit of practice trying to find out this fastest way to go around different maps to get to the bosses and things like that. So
Okay, sweet.
Very nice. Is that something you do in co-op as well, or is it just
you can do it in co-op? Yeah, there is rules to it depending on how serious you want to take it. So you can participate by just doing the challenges, or if you want to be considered like a part of the competition, you have to stream the full event. So if you've got it in co-op mode, you have to have both parties streaming at the same time so that there's no dodgy dealings to show, oh, look, this gun's now appeared in this inventory and things like that. So
that's one for Tavern to showcase, maybe. Get your streaming on.
Yeah. Happy days. I know we said before we started, Graham hasn't replayed. Has anyone else played Borderlands yet? Because again, that's another one that sort of passed me by.
I played a little bit.
I literally have it here. It's still waiting for me to start it.
He just stares at it every day when he walks in his room.
That's it. It's
Day's the day.
I need to get around to playing it. It's one of the ones I've got on my back burner, just ready there to play. I know, because obviously I normally would game share with Pete, but he does not interested. So I was like, well, I'm buying the disc. It's only 10 quid.
Bargain. But yeah, all right, cool. Anything else, Ross?
Have you played it or not? No, you don't like it. You don't like it, no, of course.
Mate, yeah, I'm not really interested. I will play it, but I'm not. I would go out of my way to choose it, as it were.
How about this, Jamie?
Go on.
We play Borderlands 3 together, and I'll play Gears 5 with you afterwards.
Ooh.
Done. Deal. Shake hands. Yeah. Like I said, I will play it if I played it with you guys, obviously. But I wouldn't. Unlike Gears, I wouldn't play it on my own because I'm less than
Borderlands alone is not great experience.
I really didn't enjoy the first one.
Borderlands is not. I've played through all of them by myself, but they are designed for the best experience to be played in co-op mode.
Yeah.
I think
because I did 2 for a bit on my own, then I started joining with randoms and 2, and it was so much more fun because you just do annoying carnage things and it makes it a lot more easier as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. It's all right. Deal then. We'll play some Borderlands. We'll get our game night going, and then we'll play some Gears afterwards. Yeah. I will suffer for Gears. Yes, boy. Okay. Cool.
What have I got myself into?
Yeah.
You love it. So what? You didn't say how long though. So we have only got to load up Borderlands here, and then we can go straight to Gears. We don't even have to get out of the tutorial.
Technically, I have to load up Gears then.
Exactly, yeah.
And you have to complete a Final Fantasy game, too.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I've got to go now and cry myself.
And New Vegas.
Which Final Fantasy should make him suffer though? Oh,
X2.
Yeah, X2.
X2. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could point X2.
But seeing as you lot don't like it, it might float my boat because it's not really a normal Final Fantasy game. You never know.
I think it's Pete's favourite.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think he might have something to say about that. Cool. All right. Anything else, Ross? Before we move on?
No, that's been pretty much taking up all my time. It's a game that it doesn't seem to matter how many times I play it; it never gets bored for me. So I can quite happily put in a few solid gaming sessions a week of Borderlands.
Nice. Nice.
You can carry me and Jamie through the game then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it too. He's only got it because I've got it.
Exactly. Yeah, I've only got a grey board. Yeah. Well, yeah, you'll need a hefty old back to carry me through that. So good luck. Right. So let's. I'm gonna just regale you quickly with some of the things I've been playing. I'm sort of in the process of reviewing a game called Tohu at the minute. It's like a point and click puzzle game. It's quite good. It's a lot harder than some of the ones I played recently, because some of the other ones I played, it's very obvious the things you can click on and what you can interact with. But everything in the scene sort of looks like it should be there. So you end up just dragging the cursor around and hitting the A button and trying to find what you can actually press on. And some of the puzzles have been quite hard. I've only played, I think it's only a couple of hours long, and I've only played about an hour and a half maybe. But I've already had to look at a couple of guides because it's just madness. Some of them, it's like proper old school point and click logic. Like you pick up I think one of them is you pick up a glove, and then you have to also pick up a book, and you also have to pick up a valve, and you have to use them in the right order. But then you can't do anything else until you've done what they solve. But then you can't. It's just like a little bit too complicated for my feeble brain.
I mean, it sounds complicated. You just trying to explain it.
Yeah, it's again. I was going this area for a good 20 minutes earlier, and I was like, "What the hell am I supposed to do?" And then I end up just having a look at a guide, and I was like, "There's no way." I didn't pick up one of the items because I didn't know I could pick it up, and then there's no way I would have figured it out on my own. Again, my feeble brain probably didn't help, but other than that, it's quite good. Other than the occasional difficult spike, it looks very good as well. It's very nice art style, and really good music as well, and quite funny at times. But yeah, so that should be up hopefully this week. I did put another review up, Habroxia 2. This is the sequel to Habroxia, obviously. It's like a scrolling arcade shooter, like a space shooter, like something like Ikaruga or Radiant Silvergun or something. But this one, the levels go sideways mainly, but occasionally they'll sort of twist and you'll be into a vertical scrolling shooter. And you can fire in 360 degrees around you. So rather than having just like pressing the A button to fire directly ahead, you can aim with the right stick. So if enemies go past you or if they come from behind you, you can still aim them. And then you have special attacks which fire forward and backward as well, which can be upgraded, as can your gun and your ship's health and speed and stuff like that. And yeah, it's really good, really good. It only takes a couple of hours to complete, and then only a couple of hours more to get the full 1000G, Ian. And I mentioned this one to you the other day. Yeah, it's a really good game, really good game. Nice sort of retro pixel art, like Mega Drive style graphics. Brilliant soundtrack, very good like chiptune music, and yeah, highly recommended. I never played the first Habroxia, but I think this one basically remixes some of those levels in that game, and then adds some new ones. And there's like big boss battles at the end which are quite tough until you've upgraded the ship. I got stuck on one of them for quite a while because I had to just go back and grind a level over and over again.
Okay.
But yeah, no, really good. Very, very highly recommended. Yeah. And then, are you ready for our weekly Resident Evil section? Yeah, you are. Look how excited they are.
You literally saw me yawn when you
Look
started.
how excited they are. I can't wait. So I said this technically is last week's because I skipped over this because I didn't want to. I didn't want to overload you with so much Resident Evil. I knew you'd all get tired and bored of it. So very quickly, I started playing Resident Evil 7 in VR on the PlayStation, obviously. Very good. Not as scary as I expected, but that's probably because I know what's coming. But yeah, no, it's effective. It is very. It's very effective. And I just got to the part where you sort of get attacked and you get your hand chopped off and you have to sort of crawl around holding your hand that's been chopped off. And yeah, it looks pretty gruesome in VR. So I'm hoping to try and finish that before Resident Evil 8 comes out. But it's just finding time. And speaking of Resident Evil 8, I borrowed my friend's PlayStation 5 and I played the Maiden demo, which was pretty terrifying to be honest. It's only about 20 minutes and there's no sort of combat or no challenge really. You literally just going through through the area. There's sort of little puzzles to figure out, but they're
Like a
not
walking simulator kind of thing.
basically. Yeah, there's a couple of puzzles to figure. Like you got to find the bolt cutters to cut the lock and stuff, and obviously as Graham
Tiger's eye.
can probably guess, you got to find someone's eye to put in the bust in the statue.
Every
and
game.
Then, yeah,
Every time.
but again, I know it's PlayStation, but it looked bloody brilliant. It's probably the best use of like HDR and stuff I've played so far. Yeah, it was excellent. It really looked great, and the atmosphere was creepy as all. Yeah, even though I knew there wasn't any combat in the game, I was still like creeping around corners, being like, "Is it?" And then they do the same as in Resident Evil 7, where like you're in the castle and you can hear like footsteps on the floors above and doors opening and closing, and every time you walk around a corner, or sometimes when you walk around a corner, you'll see someone just walk past the other like down the end of the corridor and stuff. And yeah, very effective. So I can't wait to get the actual Xbox demo, which will come out soon, hopefully, and play through that, because A, that would be more relevant to us, and B, I just want to play some more of it, because yeah, that 20 minutes was, although it was good, you could probably actually get through the demo in about 5 minutes once you know what to do. It was real short. But yeah, very good. And then that's it for Resident Evil. I'm sorry to have let you down. That's all I've played. I haven't even
disgrace.
I haven't even looked at any of Resident Evil this week. However, I did play the last one that I can talk about this week, the Balan Underworld demo. Did any of you actually get a chance to play it? I said to you earlier on about trying to have a go. Did anyone try it?
No.
I didn't get a chance.
No, you put me off. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna maybe not.
Ross, did you try it? All right, I'm gonna use my. I'm fairly sure I already used my one, but I'm gonna use my one right now. It is fucking awful, absolutely dreadful, absolutely dreadful.
Try and find a timestamp for that beat.
Absolutely dreadful.
This podcast goes out unedited, so it's in now.
No, it's in there, and it deserves to be in there because it is dreadful. It's by Yuji Naka, obviously, who was one of the creators of Sonic the Hedgehog, so that's immediately caught my interest.
Wonder why.
And it's got a very similar art style to something like Nights into Dreams. All very sort of cute and sort of over exaggerated anime character type things with little cute animals and fluffy creatures and stuff. But the actual the intro cinematic it kind of reminds me of like the Christmas Nights hand drawn one, but this time it's all like full CG, and they look really good. They're really quite entertaining. It's got great music, and the character, the Balan, the character that's sort of in control of the land, is quite entertaining, and he's crazy and all over the top, like proper 90s era Sega. But then you start playing it and it's like proper 90s era Sega. Absolutely dreadful. It's just horrendous. Like the only thing you've got to do is run and jump, which is fine, but it doesn't control very well at all. So you could pick up suits that give you different powers. You could pick up a wolf that gives you a spin attack, or a plant that lets you stretch, and then you sort of snap your legs up to you so you can hop over items and stuff. But it just doesn't play nice. It just, if you sort of jump, and rather than jumping and sort of keeping the momentum, you just sort of jump and like, it sort of fall straight back down again. There's no flow to it, as it were. And if you die, you lose your costume, and then when you go back to the checkpoint, it's not there again. So you have to then try and do whatever you died on without the help of whatever costume you had, which is shit. And then you've got
sounds all confusing already. Yeah.
And then the way the visuals are they're very colourful. Again, they're very Sega-esque, but the levels, it's hard to explain. It's almost like they're on like a reverse globe. So, normally if you run and you sort of see the horizon, everything sort of comes up towards you like that. Well, this time, it's almost like everything's vertical. And as you run towards it, it unfolds in front of you. It's a weird visual effect. And I hate it because it's so confusing. It looks like the game's broken, like the visuals like haven't loaded in properly.
Yeah.
And it's only and you sort of it plays into the puzzle. So there's one where you got to roll a ball, and you have to run up to it to get it to roll towards you. And then as you roll away, and the land sort of folds up behind you, that's how you control where the ball goes. But it just looks it looks horrendous. I can't say that word enough.
Speechless.
Yeah, the idea is nice, but the way it's implemented made me feel ill because everything folds in so close to you, you can't really see where you're going. So it's not like you can see, oh, look, there's the end goal over there, because the end goal's like up there somewhere, and until it folds down, you can't see where you're going, and it just dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Every single button on the controller does the same thing. Every single button. So A is jump, X, Y, B, triggers, bumpers. All of them do exactly the same thing. There's no other alternate attacks or anything like that.
Which one was your preferred jump?
I just gave up in the end and started throwing a controller at the screen, see if that did anything. Yeah, I was quite excited. Again, quite excited because it looked like a proper throwback to the Sega days that I grew up with. But unfortunately, it's also that way in gameplay, which was quite the issue back then as well. I think this one's been published by Bandai Square Enix rather than Sega though. Not that makes much of a difference, but they should probably know better because it's really, really bad. Like dreadful. As in, I was excited to even just try it, and now
not much fun.
There's not any fun, Ian. That's the problem. It's not even like a sliver of this could be all right. It's just awful all round. So yeah, maybe the full one will be better, but from the demo, I would highly recommend steering as far away as possible. Which is a shame. Made me all sad now, but yeah. That was So basically, if you do try to play it, please try it and just let me know if I'm being an idiot, because I'm sure it can't be as bad as I experienced. But at the same time, I haven't seen anyone else say anything positive about it at all. So
I'll check it out. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, just like a 10-minute go. Again, the music's brilliant. I love the music, and the cinematics are brilliant. It's just the actual game is naff. So yeah. Oh well.
One thing, did you get to try out Project Winter? I know you mentioned about that a couple of days ago.
No, I downloaded it, but we haven't actually tried it yet. No, we were going to try it the other night, weren't we?
I've got it downloaded.
So one game I do really want to try, because I don't know, we're talking about games to play. That's one game I do really want to try, because that does look really quite a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A bit like Among Us, but a bit more.
Yeah, so I think it's 6 players, isn't it? And then it's like a 3D survival thing, and there's
six or eight. I think 6 or 8. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Well, that could be our Game Pass game of the month, couldn't it? We were talking about this earlier on.
It could be, yeah. We've me and Jay were messaging each other, and we decided that we should pick a game
In amongst the sexy pictures.
Yeah. And we should pick a game a month and all play it, and then come back on the podcast either at the beginning or the end of the month and discuss what we thought of it.
Well, I'd vote Project Winter then, if we're going to do that.
Do that. Should we go for that?
Right, a segment has been born then, so I need to.
Just it.
Right, Project Winter people, play
From
it.
Ian's random comment, Blooms.
Because it's one game I do really want to try, because it does look a lot of fun. So I was like, well, yeah. That's the perfect reason to try it.
So first podcast of every month, we need to talk about the game, and we'll let the new boy decide what the title of the segment will be next week.
Project Winter talking.
Yeah.
Oh, that new boy. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get onto that. And Gray, did you have a look at it yet?
I've got it downloaded, but not played yet.
Okay. And what about you, Ross? Have you seen Project Winter before?
I had seen it before, but I haven't had a chance to jump into it yet. But it looks quite interesting with the full structures and resources type thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we should schedule a night one in the week when we can all get on, because I think, as you said, it's 6 or 8 players, so we can all get on
and stab each other in the back.
As well. Yeah,
a couple of others on. Yeah.
That's each other up. All right. It's a date, and then we'll play some Gears. No, that's not right.
And then we'll send ourselves some
Borderlands
pictures.
first. Let's get to bashing butts.
These nuts. All right. We got some other reviews up on the site as well. Real quick. We got Ross, who did the car demolition clicker. Gave it a 5.3. Basically, I don't know if any of you guys have played a clicker sort of game, but you just sort of press a button and watch something happen. You don't have any real agency or control over it. You just press the button and over again, and then maybe sometimes the button will be a bit more powerful, and then maybe it'll be a bit more powerful, and then that's about it. So yeah, I think that this one come out just before Christmas, I think. And he said it seems to be like a good thing if you've got 10 minutes and you just want to have a quick press of some buttons, I guess. Not
Were you going to say
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say wanted to bash.
If you want to bash some butts, then Miranda. And then I did put up a preview, actually. Me again, sorry. Of Wrath, Aeon of Ruin. This is a new shooter coming out at the end of the month. That is built in the same engine that was used to create the original Quake back in the 90s. Obviously, it's seen a bit of an improvement and upspuffing. But yeah, a lot of fun. Like just retro, old school, sort of fast-paced shooter. There's it's similar vein to obviously Quake and Doom and Duke Nukem and stuff. Just run and gun. There's no crafting system or upgrades or anything like that. Just ever increasingly brutal weapons. My favorite one was I think it was a Fang Spitter, which literally, as the name might imply, just spits fangs like a minigun type thing. It's like, and then if you hold down the alternate fire, it just sends out a load of them at once. It just minces everyone up in front of you. Yeah, a lot of fun. So that's coming out at the end of the month. And that was about that for this week, really. Obviously, as I said earlier on, Ross put up Ross, not other Ross, put up a Mass Effect trailer breakdown on the YouTube channel, as well as his weekly news recap. What sort of things did you go over in that news recap this week, Ross?
Mass Effect, the trailer, not breaking down what was in it. MLB the show, Halo not making the same mistakes as Cyberpunk, and the new footage that came out for GoldenEye Xbox Live Arcade. Well, what was meant to be GoldenEye Xbox Live Arcade.
Yes, actually, that's a good point. You brought that up. Has anybody tried to play that? Obviously not. You haven't tried to play that, but has anybody tried to?
Wink, wink, play it. No.
I want to keep my memories of an AK-47 that looks like a charcoal pencil back on the N64.
Yeah, well, I didn't try to play it either. But when I didn't try to play it, I couldn't get to run. I have no idea what was going on, but it won't work. So yeah, I'm out of luck. But I saw Digital Foundry did a stream of playing it, and it does look a hell of a lot better, obviously, as you expect. But yeah, it's also got that Halo mode where you can flick between the original graphics and the upgraded ones.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, the difference was good, which is why I didn't want to play it.
Want to be odd job, don't you?
Always odd job.
But yeah, maybe now that's out in the wild, we might actually see it. They might encourage them to sort of sign on a dotted line and get it out. But
like Deadpool. Oh, the trailer just accidentally dropped. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, everybody seems to be loving this, and they said they'd give us some money. Oh, let's see what we can do.
Such good fun in our childhood and Dan's young adulthood.
Yeah.
If looks could kill, I would
It's
get the
be
end.
more than the club.
Yeah, still do more damage.
I was going to say I'll get the N7 helmet and stick it on your head. Right, let's move on.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, if you want to play that, don't want to play that, it's out there somewhere. Let us know you get on. Okay. Anything new to Game Pass? No, Games of Gold, Dan. Do you want to take your part, take your bit?
Let's go. Gears 5. It's available until the 28th of February. You have Resident Evil, the remastered, and that's up until the 28th of February. Dandra Trial.
And if you don't redeem that one, you're a fool.
Yeah, it's like a Jamie moment, that is. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Dandruff, Trials of Fear Edition, and that's from February 16th to March 15th. And you've got Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Temple. Tomb. Oh, what is wrong with me? I can't read. That is available from.
There's probably a temple in there somewhere.
I would imagine so. That's available until February 15th, and then you have Lost Planet 2 available from the 16th of February until the 28th.
Few days.
There we go.
So, yeah. So as you said, Ian, a good month there, especially to start with Gears 5 and Resident Evil.
Is that the
Pretty much-
original first one we made?
What, the Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Yes, they remade it for the GameCube, and this is that version been up-resed and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I would like to see the original re-release just for the sake of it, because I still enjoy that original tank
Acting.
control. And stop it! Don't open that door. But Chris is. Well, anyway, I love Resident Evil.
Which one's Jill's sandwich?
That one.
That's the original, yeah.
Oh, that's original, yeah.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so many. Oh, such a good game. But yes, the remake it does all of that as well. So there's still the cheesy lines, and they still get the Jill sandwich in there, but it's delivered differently. It's like, what does he say? Something like, she says, "Oh, I was nearly squished in there," and he goes, "Yeah, you would have fit nicely into a sandwich."
Yeah.
I don't know which is creepier.
That's a little bit creepy.
Yeah,
I'd love Barry.
yeah. It's it's a
I might
good
just
remake.
play just for that. I might just play it now just for that scene.
It's quite early on as well, but you have to do a certain thing to trigger
I
it.
was going to say you got to get the right sort of order of progression, otherwise you can miss that bit. But yeah, it's good. Anyway, Resident Evil talk. We'll do it. We'll start up the show. We'll start up the Resident Evil show one day. Anyone else got anything they'd like to discuss or bring up before we wrap it up and go to bed?
Bed? Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Football.
That's what Monday's for.
Forgive me for my ignorance. Obviously, I imagine the Patriots are playing. Who are they playing against?
No, it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, is it not the Patriots?
No.
Oh, why do you care then?
Because
Brady.
Tom
Glory
Brady
hunters.
played for Patriots for 20 years,
Yeah.
and now he's gone to Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay.
And he's 60 years old.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw
Yeah,
something
he's
about him being really old the other day. But...
Have you seen the pictures of him on Twitter where it starts from when he first started until now? And he looks younger.
Yeah, he's the only man on the face of the earth that manages to go from a 21-year-old looking horribly terrible to a 44-year-old looking like a model.
Yeah.
It's like,
What
I
happened?
imagine the vast amounts of money he's accrued has probably helped that somewhat.
Yeah, possibly.
potentially, yes.
Yeah.
And only ever eating avocado ice cream.
Yeah.
That too, yeah.
I hope that was like a sarcastic comment there. Not...
Oh
he
no,
does.
no,
he
that's
does.
he doesn't have any meat, and he doesn't. Does he have dairy? No, I don't think he has
No,
meat or
he's
dairy.
vegan, complete vegan, yeah.
Yeah,
Strict
he's,
vegan.
but it's like his diet is intense.
Avocado ice cream.
Oh, that's
Avocado
made me
ice
feel
cream.
queasy.
He's literally pretty much full plant based, but not even fake, not like vegan. We have fake plant stuff. None of that. So it's just
No.
pure.
God, that boy must be regular.
Yeah.
No wonder he runs so fast. He's like, go get this game over and done with.
We got to toilet quickly. Gotta go.
All right. Well,
Every time he gets sacked, he must explode with gas.
That's why no one wants to sack him.
Yeah.
That one time I sacked Tom Brady, I got anyway. Moving swiftly on.
Anyway, yeah. Well, enjoy, gentlemen. I hope the game delivers whatever you want it to deliver.
I'm
And
naive eating food mainly. That's about it.
yeah, and the rest of you have a wonderful evening as well.
Yeah.
And anyone out there listening, have a wonderful evening. It's been Xbox Tavern episode 15th of Xpod Tavern. You think I get used to saying that one? Huh? And I've been Jamie, and I've been joined by Daniel,
Bye bye.
Graham,
Hello.
Ian,
Hello. Goodbye.
and Russ.
He's like, guys.
All right, take it easy, everybody.
Yep. Bye.
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 Mwah.
Hello.
That's good. I did it last time.